For me, the best thing about Creative Computing Institute is the sense of community that we're creating. This is one of the few places in the world where you can see things from an arts perspective and also a science and technology perspective at the same time. And that means that together everyone is talking about something they can't really talk about anywhere else.
I studied at University of Arts London. I was like the techie person in like traditional design environments where maybe some of the things I needed or the spaces, the conversations I wanted to have did not exist. So when I knew that the CCI was being created, I was always trying to find ways on how I can get involved.
This is the first cohort of students in the program. I've been really impressed at how much they've taken the materials we've given them and made them their own.
Every time I come in the building, the students are just like chomping at the bit to show their work to people. I think it'll be a very, very good career for them.
So I'm showing my first project on the diploma. I thought it would be interesting to explore what if we could see in sound rather than light.
So I did the week-long machine learning course and the P5.js course with the CCI, and it's really helped me sort of develop my practice and teach me more of the development side of coding.
It's really changed my mind about like what computation is, what it means to the world, what it means like to society at large. Like, in the course of a year, I've like really changed how I'm thinking about it.
We have a beautiful mission and a great social agenda, and we really want to positively impact the way tech works in society.
I think of computing as a craft exercise, like pottery or weaving. It's going to take you a long time to become a master of it, but the first steps should be approachable by anyone. And I think that's an important part of what we do here at CCI.
Hello everyone, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this first Open Day session at the Creative Computing Institute. My name is Georgina Capdevila and I am the Creative Learning Producer at CCI. And today we're gonna look at the BSc Creative Computing course, and we've got with us Anna Troisi, who's the course leader. We have second year student Harry Woodfin and first year student Mamiya. And yeah, just to give you a quick overview of how the session is gonna be structured, we're gonna talk a bit about the CCI first, where it's located, what resources and facilities are available to students. Then Anna will talk us through the approach and units of the BSc Creative Computing course. And then we are gonna have a lot of time to hear from current students, hear about their experience, and we are gonna finish up the session with an open Q&A where we encourage you to be interactive and ask us any questions that you might have about the course or about the CCI. Throughout the session, we're gonna keep an eye on the chat, which you can find on the right hand of the Blackboard Collaborate platform that we're using today. And we're gonna do our best to answer any questions at the end of the session. In terms of accessibility, just to note that Blackboard Collaborate doesn't allow us to display live captions, but we are going to record this session and then we're going to upload it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so you can rewatch the session with closed captions in case that you miss any detail. So if you have difficulties following along the session, don't worry, that's going to be available to you after the session. So yes, let's get this started. We will start by watching a pre-recorded video that I recorded myself about the CCI. Hope you enjoy it, and yeah, I'll see you in a second after this video. Thanks everyone for joining us. Hi everyone! In this video we're going to show you around the campus and share some of the facilities and resources available to CCI students. The Creative Computing Institute is located at UAL's Peckham Road campus in Camberwell, South East London. The local area is home to a thriving art scene, which hosts a variety of art galleries and artist studios that students, graduates, and staff work and exhibit in. On site, there are two galleries, Camberwell Space and the Student Union Gallery, with the South London Gallery right next door and Peckham Platform in the local area. Also, on site we have an amazing library supported by a dedicated CCI librarian, who oversees the subject area of creative computing, ensuring the library stays up to date with the books, periodicals, databases, and other resources you need to complete your studies. The CCI is located across the 4th and 5th floor of the newest building at Peckham Road, which means it's very accessible to students with various needs. Let's take a look around. The CCI is divided into 4 main areas. At the heart of the space is the kitchen. At lunchtime, it becomes a social hub of CCI for folks to share lunch together, and during classes, it's quite a working space. Along the side are 3 classrooms, 2 seminar rooms, and 1 high-end computer suite fitted with some of the latest technology, including 24 high-spec computers with NVIDIA RTX 2080 graphics cards and 4K monitors for working on projects ranging from machine learning to 3D rendering and video editing. Additionally, many of these computers can actually be accessed remotely from home after hours to enable access to specialist software or the high performance for rendering or machine learning work. In addition to the computing facilities, we have dedicated spaces set up for electronics, soldering, 3D printing, and virtual reality facilities. Elsewhere within the building, CCI students have access to the 3D workshop, which includes additional 3D printing facilities, laser cutting, CNC machining, and a full wood workshop. We take COVID-19 safety very seriously, so at the moment our spaces are reconfigured to enable students to spread out 2 meters apart. There's also loads of windows to ensure good ventilation and hand and surface sanitizer throughout the space to keep things clean, on top of regular visits from cleaning staff. In normal times, we also operate a laptop locker system where students can borrow a laptop to use within the CCI spaces. This is just a glimpse of the amazing resources and facilities that are going to be available for you while studying at CCI. Now, I would like to briefly talk about the CCI social mission and public program. At CCI, we aim to integrate computational thinking with approaches to fairness and equality for the UAL and wider community. This is formally codified through our social mission, which focuses on diversity in technology, digital inclusion, and entrepreneurship. Our public program is underpinned by this mission and connects students, practitioners, and researchers with an international community of creative computing professionals. The aim of the public program is to offer a platform where UAL students, staff, and industry people can explore creative technology through workshops, public events, intensive courses, and fellowships awarded to practitioners in the field. To give you a sense of what you have the chance to take part in while studying at CCI, here are some of the programs that we've run. CCI's inaugural fellowship in 2018 was awarded to Feminist Internet. We ran a series of workshops exploring the idea of a feminist Alexa. Our second fellowship was awarded to CreativeApplications.net, in which we delved into creative coding with custom LED displays and innovative ways to apply to new technologies. CCI awarded its third fellowship to artist and researcher Anna Riedler. Together, we ran a learning program called Artificial AI, where we explored some of the problematics embedded in datasets. In parallel, we run several week-long intensive courses open to all UAL students, which included inclusive design in wearable technology, designing a feminist chatbot, computational thinking with P5.js, machine learning for the creative industries, design with data and interactive machine learning, and the latest one we run, Querying Voice AI Transcendent Design. We also started the CCI After School Club, now renamed Tech Yard, a safe space aimed at young people, families, and beginners based in the local area in Peckham and Camberwell, who want to learn creative computing in a supportive environment. This is just a quick overview of all the opportunities that we've been able to provide to UAL and CCI students over the last 2 years. But there are so many exciting things that are on the way and that we cannot wait for you to take part in. Thanks so much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed what you just seen, and now let's keep moving. Hi again, thanks for watching. So now we're gonna get into detail about the course, and I'm gonna play a video that Anna recorded for us in which she will share everything you need to know about the BSc Creative Computing.
Hi everybody, welcome to the open day for the BSc Creative Computing at the Creative Computing Institute, in one of the most prestigious art institutions in the world. I'm the course leader for the BSc in Creative Computing. My name is Anna Tresi. I am very happy to be able to share with you some of the feature of our course, possible careers opportunity we envision for our graduate, and also our ethos. When I was at the university, I didn't have the opportunity to explore creativity and technology at the same time. So I studied computer science and later computer music and nanotechnology from a PhD. While I was doing this, I was also conducting a parallel course of study and practice in the field of music, art, and design. The BSc Creative Computing is really the course that I would have loved to attend myself. A little bit of a course overview. This course mixes computing and creative practice. This means that you will learn to code, to build apps, to craft digital experiences, installations, to work with sound design, sonifications, to explore also machine intelligence, and much more than this. The computer skills you'll be learning are very linked to creative applications, and we cover the dominant coding languages and the workflows that support innovation in the digital technology sector and creative practice. At the BSc in Creative Computing, you'll be also be equipped to work in a variety of roles within the digital and development industry. And we do this also providing opportunities for teamwork, enriching students. We offer a foundation year. This is totally optional and introduce you to a foundational understanding of creative computing, including creative practice and digital production. In year one, you will begin to broaden your computational skill set with underpinning in coding. We also introduce and start building more knowledge in data, in math, and also methods. All coding skills will be applied to creative making and computational practice. So we will cover sound, image processing, as well as experience in physical computing in the year one. In year two, it's a kind of obviously a step up. You will progress into the digital making involving both experimental human-computer interaction, but also work with a web application and websites as well. In year three, you can make the choice of conducting a year in the industry. So this is called Diploma in Professional Studies. It is a managed year of professional experience, largely undertaken in the design profession in a variety of national and international locations. And the university will help you to find the right industries, but also will help you throughout the process of conducting your year out of the industry, in the industry. In your final year, you will be exploring computational approaches to machine intelligence and also the ethical implication of such technologies. You will develop a creative project using machine intelligence frameworks, and you will have the opportunity to develop a self-direct graduation project that brings together the skills and the expertise you have gained throughout the course. And there will be a graduate show, obviously, which is our way to celebrate the end of the course of your study. We believe in cross-disciplinary, and we facilitate work across courses and cross-disciplines to respond also to life briefs you might have. For example, funding collaborations with other students during the course of your study. I had a student a few days ago from year 0, so for the foundation year, and student was asking if he could explore neuroscience for his essay on creativity. And with great pleasure, I could guide the whole cohort to explore specific, very impactful projects involving neuroscience in a creative practice context. This was beautiful. So most of the time, ideas and direction come from the students, and we take and we welcome everything. We try to expand in all directions relevant for the course. We also encourage individual learning. In this course, we prefer thinking that students are all different and with different inclinations and different needs. We try to accommodate all interests and areas of challenges they might have. This means sometimes offering extracurricular work or ad hoc challenges or opportunities, but also extra classes or lectures to cover specific aspects of interest. Another important aspect at the BSc in Creative Computing is that we forge innovators. So we aim not only to have our students getting the job they aspire to, but we would like our graduates to invent new jobs, to build and to renovate the creative industry. And to innovate, we have to make sure all students are given space to make mistakes and take some creative risks. Our learning journey and assessments take care of these specific aspects, the risk-taking. So in unit where we assess the student on a portfolio of works, for example, we will make sure we provide weekly tasks so the students will be able to conduct part of the portfolio while we are working together in the unit. So at the end of the unit, they will only be assessed on 3 or a few of the tasks they felt stronger. This way, students can take risks without the fear of their mark being affected. So in all the exam, for example, we provide a large set of questions in advance, so students can test themselves before the actual exam, and they have plenty of time to ask the tutor if they encounter a question they cannot understand or they cannot find the right answer. In terms of didactic pedagogy, we adopt at the BSc in Creative Computing a flipped class method for teaching. This means that students are asked to complete an independent task weekly for all unit. Tasks are never time-consuming, as we like thinking that the students have free time to experience the world, but they constitute an important element of the learning journey. And the outcome of the weekly tasks is discussed in class weekly, and students can get a feedback from the tutor weekly. Checking weekly on the students' work is very important for us, as we can offer extra help and tutorials as soon as the student is at risk of remaining behind. At the BSc, we introduced also a communication framework called nonviolent communication, with the aim of making sure that all students feel included and happy to share difficulties, but also good moments. So having a transparent and non-judgmental environment helps us to feel part of a community, which sometimes we call CCI, family. Today in my session with the students, I used a few minutes to check in with the students, and we opened up a beautiful conversation about communication skills in the context of the digital creative industry. We give importance to play and experiential learning. Our tasks sometimes can lead to very playful and enjoyable moments, and it is important that students are giving opportunities to socialize while learning in class. We have an incredible team of caring tutors and unit leaders, and we ensure students are fully supported by our technical team as well, and they're doing an incredible job. The BSc is supported by the UAL Learning and Disability Support Service, and we have our dedicated disability advisor at the CCI. More in general, we strive to provide an inclusive place where to learn, with a sort of a baseline of small changes that we have made for all the students, because we would like all the students with disability and without disability to take advantage of a more inclusive teaching. Promoting diversity, individuality and innovation is at the heart of what we do here at the UAL. So we're very proud of our diverse student communities, and we are committed to ensure that here at the university, students feel that this is an inclusive and supportive environment for everybody. So the university has also a long history of celebrating and promoting sexual orientation equality, and these are also priority for the Creative Computing Institute. To conclude, this course is a unique opportunity where we prepare our students to contribute with their individual unique perspective to the developing area of creative computing. And I'm aware that it's difficult to give you a full understanding of many details you might want to know, but I hope I gave you a sense of the teamwork we are committed here and the atmosphere we might have in class when we are with the students. I will be available for question and answer, but please contact us also after over email as well if you need to. Our general inquiry email is cci@arts.ac.uk. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope to have a chat with you later through the question and answer section. Bye.
Thanks, Anna, for putting together this lovely video. Now we're going to move on to an interview that Anna recorded with second-year student Jack Wright. So we're gonna go ahead and play this in a second.
Good afternoon, Jack. I want to do a brief check-in to start with. How are you in this specific moment?
I'm good. I'm feeling a little bit worried about the essay that we're going to be writing, but I'm confident about it as well.
That's good to know. You are enrolled into the BSc Creative Computing. Which cohort are you enrolled into?
I'm Bachelor's of Science, Year 2.
Year 2.
Yeah.
Well, when you started last year, were you considering yourself more a programmer or an artist or designer or a creative? What was your background there?
I actually worked in IT as a technician and programmer before starting uni.
So you were feeling strong in programming already. And were there things that at that point when you enrolled you were scared about? I don't know, for example, things that you thought there were bits that you didn't know, and you thought, oh, maybe I'm not going to do okay with this specific thing. I don't have the knowledge enough. Were you worried about something?
Well, I'm generally not really a creative person, so I'd say that aspect of things was where I was lacking and a bit worried about. Yeah.
Okay, and did we help you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. And how do you feel? Yeah, do say, Jack.
There's a lot of like color theory and design aesthetics that we went through last year that did help quite a bit.
That's very good to know. How do you feel now about your skills in general? So the creative aspect and also the programming, obviously.
I'd say they've been improved greatly, especially the creative side. Along with the programming side, I didn't, because most of my programming is self-taught, I didn't really have the understanding of like why we should be using comments, why we should be making our applications accessible for everyone, stuff like that. It was more the general how to make something that I knew to do.
This is a very interesting aspect. So you think that we are helping you maybe to reach more industry standard, let's say. Is it?
Definitely.
That's very good. Is there anything in the last year that you enjoyed the most?
Yes, the sound and image processing unit. I enjoyed quite a bit, mainly because I'm very into my music, and this lesson, well, this unit basically shows you how to manipulate music and images live, which was quite interesting. Yeah.
Do you play live music yourself?
Yeah, I DJ.
So you can find applications of all of this into your, let's say, hobby or second job or artistic and creative musical scene.
Yeah.
This is very good. This year instead, what are you enjoying the most this year? I am curious.
I would say it's the human-computer interaction, but I'm also enjoying the critical studies because it's very in-depth this year compared to the year before.
Very nice. So this year, we haven't gone through a big project yet, as we have been teaching for only a few weeks now. So shall we look into one of your last year projects, so the first year project? Would you be able to show us about your last year project?
A mysterious light shows a drink me sign around a bottle on the top of the table. Alice floats up to it panting, and holding onto the edge of the table takes up the bottle. It isn't marked poison. She sips at it. This is good. Tastes like cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roasted turkey, toffee and hot buttered toast all together. But the lake is rising too. Oh, it's steep. I'm drowning. Kelp, kelp, I'm drowning in my tears. The aim of the game is to collect as many Drink Me bottles as you can, within 2 minutes. Each bottle has a chance to have either a positive or a negative effect on the rabbit. Good luck. Use the arrow keys to move the rabbit. Escape can be used at any time to pause the game. Click play to start.
Thank you, Jack. This was amazing. I was very impressed by this project. This was year one, so it means that you used some of your skills that you had already, but most of the skills that you learned with P5JS in which unit exactly?
That was creative making.
creative making, and it looked like to me that you worked quite a lot. Was this only during the day or also during night?
Yeah, there's a few nights that I spent on this. I think it was leading up to Christmas. I spent a few nights on it. Yeah.
I hope that this was because you were enjoying yourself a lot, and not because we forced you to do that. Is it?
No.
That's okay. This is a beautiful project. I'm really grateful you could show this to us. I had some whispers told me that you have something in mind now, which is actually not related to any of the unit. So you are making something, you have something that you are creating. I'm not sure it is linked to a unit or is it just an independent creation. Could you tell us more about this?
I basically ordered a Star Wars headset that it's advertised as you're able to control holograms with your mind, but this headset has a chip in that you can get the headset rather cheaply, like £5 or £10 online, but the chip itself costs about £70 if you were to order it by itself. I was planning on doing with this headset was connecting it to an Arduino, which is basically it's a computer without like an interface, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a board. Yes.
Yeah, you can program on the board, and I want to connect the headset with the board, and then I want to detect eye movements or mouth movements, or if you're able to look left or right, and I want to then send this data over to like a receipt printer and print it out on an actual piece of paper that someone can take away with them, if that makes sense.
This is really interesting.
Yeah.
It also reminds me that you are doing something very material, and this connects also with the theory unit. This might be a sort of incident, but it's a beautiful project, and I'm really looking forward to see the outcome. Is this project then linked to any of our unit, or is it a completely independent work that you're doing?
It started as an independent piece of work because I kind of have the idea of going into like a medical field after university, which is why I chose the headset. It uses ECG, so yeah, I would say it started as a personal project, but it is linked to the human computer interaction unit as well.
Fantastic. So we have finished our short interview. I'm super grateful. How do you feel now?
Pretty good, yeah.
Better?
Yeah,
less nervous?
better.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution today. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you.
Hello back. Thanks, Anna. It was lovely to hear from Jack about his experience. And now I would like to welcome Anna, Harry, and Mamiya to this virtual space. So we've got around 25 minutes to answer any questions you might have. So please feel free to send through any comment on the chat on the right side of Blackboard. If you want to turn on your cameras and audios, we would love to hear from you. Let me see. Yeah, there you are. Okay. So we have one question from Alexandra that says, what are you looking for in UCAS applications and personal statement? For example, can applicant still get a place if he doesn't quite get the grades? Also, are you looking for portfolio? If yes, could you please give us some advice? Thank you.
This is an amazing question. I imagine it's for me. Thanks for asking this, Alexandra. So the UCAS application, if we look for this personal statement, I do all of this. Yes, look for the personal statement, mostly because I want to understand what is and how is that is interesting you. So what is interesting you? Why you're interested in this specific course? So the personal statement is actually very important, and it's quite ignored by the students. So most of the time I have to make phone calls, make sure I reach you, to make sure I understand your position there. And this is exactly answering also the second part. Often we get students that don't reach the right UCAS points. Sorry, in the application. There are two ways that I tend to go through. So one is offering an year zero, which is an entry level, a little bit lower, but it's a foundation year. And in this way, I'm sure that you can, after 1 year of foundation, you can start year one being very confident. So this is one way. The other way, if the UCAS points are not exactly but very close, we can try to offer an year one depending on the statement, situation, portfolio. Alexander is also asking about portfolio. We do not ask you to create a portfolio for the application, but we strongly suggest you to keep track of what you're doing, what you're creating, both if it is something more scientific, more design, or more computing based. Keep track of this and make sure you create a PDF file. You don't need lots of pages. We need to understand what is the thinking that is around you're making. So this is what we suggest for the portfolio. So be natural, be yourself, and make sure you collect what you already have been doing in the past few years. I hope I answered to this question.
That's great. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, Alexander, let us know if you have any other questions in the meantime. So we did receive another question from Alex that was related to the diploma in creative computing, actually, and I already pasted a question on the chat. So now maybe, oh yeah, we have another one. Okay, so Emma is asking, what kind of jobs do students get after this course?
This is a big question. So as I said, there was a slide with all the jobs listed. There are so many that I can't even go through the list. So my suggestion here is to use Google Jobs. SICK, and you look for creative computing as a keyword. So we could do this together today, and you will see how many opportunities we have up there and how different they are. So they can cover both game design or can be also marketing or business, which is quite interesting. But you can go also more pure computer science side. Yeah, so it's so amazing how much you can do with computer science, with the creative perspective. That the list is incredibly long. You will find a short list in our website. Is up there for you for consultation if you want to have a look. The website is describing the BSc, so maybe we can put the link there as well.
Yes, I'm going to put it now in the chat as well in the meantime. Amazing. So yeah, we haven't received any more questions so far. So maybe it would be nice to hear from Mami or Harry.
Oh, we have Alex is adding a question there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're asking about the diploma in creative computing, and I suggested maybe that it would be great if they could join us this afternoon because we're running the session at 4 p.m. So I think that would be more suitable for what they're interested in.
Okay. Does the portfolio need to be related to the major that you're applying for? No, absolutely not. Your portfolio can be, there were beautiful portfolio, there were just fine art portfolio. I'm not sorry for the adoption of the word just. There were fine art portfolio and they were beautiful and very significant for us. So if you have anything creative or anything more designy or anything more computer on the computer science side, it is fine. We want to understand how you apply your knowledge to the making and the doing. So this is why we ask for the portfolio. That can be really anything. There are students who presented a set of pictures that they made, creative pictures using shapes, buildings. They were beautiful. So again, trying to explain what you're doing, why you are expressing yourself in a specific way in a portfolio is quite important. So sometimes putting a picture there without explanation might not help, but if you can write a few lines about your composition, why you did something, that's very helpful for us. This is a beautiful question, Emma. Emma is asking, how is this course different compared to pure computer science degrees? So I did a pure computer science degree quite a long time ago. And I had to practice everything related to the applications on a more creative side by myself. So I didn't have the opportunity to have this taught to me. So I had to learn by myself how to apply computer science to a more cross-disciplinary type of things. So I believe, and we continuously try to do this to make sure that students understand that disciplines are almost inexistent. So we can break the walls in between disciplines through computer science. So the idea is that with computer science taught this way, we are able to apply computer science in many different disciplines. This is where the creativity comes from. I hope I answered to this. Rico, do you expect a wide range of artworks? Are we referring to the portfolio here, Rico? Oh yeah, you're referring to portfolio. Medium style that I'm comfortable with. Students presented also small works, comics, everything in A4, but there were also pictures. So if you already have a painting, which is big, you can take a picture and insert the picture into your portfolio. But if you don't have a big acrylic painting, I'm not asking you to do that. So what I am asking is just collecting things that you do normally in life or during the school. If you have pieces that you think were particularly creative, you can collect all together and take pictures if necessary and put them together in a PDF where you're explaining with few words what is what is your product, your artwork there. Another is asking, I want to know how many projects can be displayed in the mini portfolio. Yeah, we still don't know one another. When students ask me about how many words, I always say it is really up to you. You should not ask me numbers, because creativity expressions that should never go through numbers in this way. So I would say that I would try to select. Selection is important. So try to select from 3 to 5 projects for your portfolio. This will mean a lot, because the way how you are selecting is also important, and everything you leave out of your portfolio remained important. So the fact that you make a choice there, it's super important. So when you make your choices, try to make sure that you choose what you think is better, not what you think I think is better. So what you think is better, put it there and be confident, because if you think that those are the best artwork or projects that you produce, you are the best person to judge this. So make a choice there. Having a portfolio of 50 things might not be meaningful, but knowing that you choose 5 of them, that's actually quite interesting. The way how you choose is interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's great, Anna.
Other questions?
Yeah, we don't have more questions for now.
Okay. So I might ask a question to one of our students. So do this. Ta-da! So, Mamia, I'm going to ask a question to you. So you are attending year 0 now, is it?
No, year 1.
Haha, that's
Yeah.
me. So you're attending year 1, but it's your first year, so you didn't do year 0 last year. So it's your
Yeah.
first. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
So my question for you is, when you enrolled, so when you started, were you feeling that you were coming more from a design background or more artsy background or more computer science background?
Definitely a more creative background, as in school I studied art for GCSE, then in A level I went on to do media studies, so I didn't really have a lot of computer side or any like technical side to it. So yeah.
Interesting. Did you present a portfolio in your submission, as lots of students here are asking about the portfolio?
No, I didn't submit a portfolio. No.
Okay, but you got in anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
That's very good. I wanted to ask if you were scared of when you arrived for not knowing specific things, for having, were you feeling that you had holes of knowledge and you were a bit
Yeah.
worried about that? Which
Definitely.
type of
Especially with the coding aspect, I've only done a little bit of coding in the past. I've never done anything as in depth as we're learning in year 1 right now. So that was definitely something I was worried about when coming onto the course.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel now? Are we helping you?
Definitely. During the lectures, everything's easily explained, as well as our lecturers are always telling us that we can come to them if we need any help or if there's any trouble. Yeah, everything's going really smoothly right now. So yeah.
So you're learning, you're not getting stuck or things like that?
No, I'm learning, yeah.
So we can do coding. That's amazing. Fantastic. So we helped you. That's good. I also wanted to know how you feel now after a few weeks about your skills. So how would you consider yourself now? Or do you feel that you are more kind of a mixed disciplines? Do you feel more in between now, or you feel that you're still into more the fine art, or you're moving gradually?
Yeah, definitely moving gradually. I mean, there's always areas for improvement. But I feel like gradually I'll become more confident with the skills I learn and be able to somehow work with them together. So
Fantastic, that's lovely. And what are you enjoying the most maybe this year?
it definitely has to be the creative making class. We're currently learning how to do visuals and stuff, which is really fun, and just learning new software, which I was previously interested in, which was a good surprise to come into the course and see that was something we would be learning. So yeah, that's definitely something I enjoy.
Okay, what are you learning exactly in that unit? Maybe students want to know a little bit more.
We're currently learning making visuals and like different kind of visuals and how they work with different kinds of music or sound, and just putting that all together to make an audio-visual presentation, which is really fun.
Fantastic. Okay, well, what do you want to become when you are grown up? You don't have to know it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure as to what I want to become when I'm in the future, but just definitely the skills I learn on this course will like really help me just finding a job. As you said, it's such a broad topic. There's definitely something out there for me that I would enjoy.
Yeah, the good thing is that it's from one aspect, it's broad in the sense that you can go in many directions, but we also develop lots of technical skills that are very, very specific. So at the end of the course, we also know so many languages and so many possible applications already there that you will be able to put not only together a portfolio that you can present to a digital creative industry, but you also have an incredible list of things that you know how to do already in your CV. So this is incredible. So it's broad, but at the same time we develop very deeply so many things and languages and opportunities. So thanks for this. Do we have other questions? I'm curious.
Not so far. We haven't received any, but I would encourage everyone to take the most out of this session. We have 10 minutes left, so please feel free to send them through. Yeah, maybe we could invite Harry over. Is Harry around?
Yep, sure. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Harry.
Hey, Harry.
How's it going?
Well, thank you for coming today.
That's a pleasure.
How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah, still a little bit tired waking up, but yeah, feeling great.
Okay. So, what about you? You are in year 2.
Yeah.
How do you feel about year 2? How did you start? How was your start? And yeah, were you more computer person or designy person or artsy person? How was the starting the CCI last year?
So I definitely came from a CAD background, so working in industry before I came to the CCI. So I had very little programming languages knowledge and didn't know to code at all. So when I came, I was a little bit nervous. Basically, I don't know if anybody's tried kind of learning to code online, but learning to code online, there's a lot of terminology which they kind of expect you to know. And I didn't know this terminology. So I was a little bit worried when I came to the CCI that I would be kind of rejected from the community, be kind of stuck behind, but the CCI has been very helpful. And everybody there has really brought me along onto this kind of programming journey. So yeah, I feel really confident with kind of what to know, and also just learning new programming languages, and also my independent study. So when I'm at the CCI and I kind of want to go off on my own project and start doing something, I know I've got a community of people and the technical team who are great behind me to help me out in that. So I feel really great here. And my new course, the year 2, is great. We're learning experimental human-computer interaction, which I think Jack mentioned, web design with Joanna, and also theory, so network theory. And these topics are all very different in their own way, as you can imagine, but I think I'm gaining a lot of skills in them, so I feel really great.
That's amazing. I don't know what to say. You leave me speechless. What else can I ask you? So we had you talk about the community. What could the students know from you, Harry? Maybe the students, Emma, Riku, can ask you some questions directly. You have a student, you should use him.
I think one thing,
more questions.
When I was coming to the CCI, I was always kind of curious of what software was I going to learn and what languages was I going to learn. This was one thing which I was always kind of interested before I came along. So I could give kind of anybody who's listening a brief overview of kind of the stuff we learn. So we gain a large understanding of P5.js, which if you know P5.js, it's a kind of mini processing, or kind of different to processing, but similar in the sense that you can create visual and audio displays and artwork and pieces like this. So P5.js is a great tool. It's also an open editor. It's a web editor. So if anybody wants to kind of just go and try it out, I would really recommend, because you don't need to download anything or use the terminal or anything like this. But it's a great little language to learn. And the other languages, Python is really fun. Not so much visual, even though you can do visual stuff with Python Turtle and a few graph plotter and a few other things like this. But Python's great for creating, just creating kind of functions which do cool stuff. I don't really know how to explain it. You can do a lot with Python. And then also we played around with Arduino a lot. So that uses C++ and C, a combination, Arduino's own IDE to program. But that's really fun, because now with Arduino, I can start making physical computing, which honestly I never thought I would be into. But yeah, since learning about it, I'm definitely on that road for sure. I love it. So yeah, those are the kind of things, the main things which stand out. We learn a few other languages kind of here and there. And also, as I said, there's a lot of kind of independent study. So if you ever do want to just start something really new, start learning a new place, you've got the technical team and also all the people at the CCI to help you along on that road. So I would really recommend, just going for it.
Yeah. Fantastic. You made me thinking that this year, students from your year, so year 2, you asked for learning more. And how did we respond to this? So we are creating some clubs now. So we are adding some resources. So some of the lecturers would create some clubs, so short series of lectures and workshops for you to learn specific things that you asked for us to teach, and we are providing. I also saw that you asked for a more formal C++ as a teaching language, as a C++, now linked to Arduino, and we will probably deliver that as well in the second block. So it's nice to have this type of teamwork as well.
That would be brilliant. I think this is one thing of the CCI, the feedback and the communication between the staff at the CCI and also the students is great. So as you mentioned, we talk all the time, and we kind of work out what we want to learn as a student cohort, and also, of course, the staff work out what they think would be best for us for industry standards, and we create this really nice environment where it's not just kind of staff and students, it's very much a combined process, which is really great.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Any other questions? Georgina, what are we?
We haven't received any more questions so far. So unless you want to cover something else in the meantime?
I don't know.
I guess also it would be nice maybe to hear from you, Harry, because you've been in the physical space as well over the last year. Maybe you can just give us an overview of how it was, the experience of being there and using the spaces and the facilities, and how is the campus, and how did you find the area and just starting there? That would be nice to hear as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, last year, of course, before COVID, we were in the physical space. I think that was actually really exciting. One thing I really miss is the kitchen at the CCI, mainly because this was where, when your lecture was over, you would be in there making a coffee or something, and all the people from other courses and also all the kind of researchers at CCI would be there having lunch, and it was a really nice environment around that kind of kitchen to talk and gain ideas. And I definitely miss that. But I think in the sense of the facilities, I think COVID isn't really taking much away. Of course, yeah, you can't be there physically, but we still have access to the 3D printers. So if anybody's interested in 3D printing, we have a Prusa Mini and also a Prusa, the original Prusa, I think, at the CCI. So whenever I need to get something 3D printed for physical computing or on my own work, it's a really quick kind of process. But of course, I would love to, being able to kind of tinker with the printer myself. I think with COVID, that's maybe less possible. But the physical space for sure is a really, really nice environment to be able to, talk to people and also kind of get your hands on with the soldering items and this kind of thing.
Fantastic. I have a question from Grace, maybe for me, but also for you, students. So Grace is asking, how will the course be assessed? What kind of assessment will students have to take? So we have somehow 3 different type of units. So, sorry. We have theory unit, and most of the time we ask for an essay. I will probably change this and give the possibility to create a video essay as well as essay. So whoever doesn't like to write could create a short 2,000 words presentation with slides, and this will work as an essay as well. So we're trying to widen up this form of essay for the theory as well. Then we have more coding unit. We have an exam, some of them, not all of them. What we do in the exam is giving questions. This year with the COVID, we give the question, and you have 1 week to complete the exam, the number of questions, and this is a multiple choices. I am trying to give to everybody a big set of questions, for example, 50 questions, so you can rehearse, students can rehearse by themselves and understand if you're doing okay, have time to ask us questions as well. So when they will arrive at the exam date, they will have absolutely a clear sense of what type of questions to expect. This is a change, so Harry hasn't seen this in action yet. Yeah, so it's a new thing. And then we have more project-based or portfolio-based unit. So you have some one unit per block where you present a project or a portfolio. So you can have one big project, maybe accompanied by a short presentation, so a few words explaining the project, or a portfolio. And as I said in the presentation, we never ask you to work through the whole block, the whole semester on, for example, 3 things specific. We actually give you a lot of tasks, a lot of opportunities, and you will be able to choose what is you select. And this is connect with the selection process that we were discussing earlier. So you will select what's the best, and what is the best, it will go to be assessed by us. We have we use a number of criteria to assess. But the way how we assess is very holistic. So for example, you might have a criteria where you're doing better than another criteria, and you might still get the higher mark, because our way of assessing is holistic and look also through the process of creation as well, and the presentation. So it looks on details, but we are not there ticking boxes. So we look at the overall work all the time. We make sure also students make lots of mistakes, and we do not punish when we assess. That's important. Mistakes are important for learning and for being innovative, so we take care of that aspect as well. I hope I answered. So these are the 3 main type of assessment that we have. Am I correct, Harry and Mami?
Amazing.
Good. There is another question for Harry?
Yeah, we have another question for accommodation. I don't know if Harry or Mamiya, you've been part of an accommodation hub. I just wanted to quickly say that there are a few online sessions happening, because we do have an accommodation next to our campus, and Camberwell campus is offering a few informative sessions on that. So I'm just going to paste the link where you can register and sign up to one of these online sessions. And now over to you if you want to share anything else, Harry or Mamiya, if you've been part of it.
Yeah, sure. I can quickly just touch on this question if you want. So, yes, Alexandra, I did live in accommodation last year. So I don't know what accommodation is like during COVID, but last year I lived in accommodation and I found it really great. One thing I would recommend is talk to the people in your accommodation about your course. So really say what you're studying, say what you're working on, because a lot of the time the other people in the accommodation are on another course and they're interested in what you're doing, especially as a kind of in a computer science course. Everybody's kind of interested in how they can combine their mediums with that. So through being in the accommodation, I started talking to a few people about who were in fine arts and illustration and advertising, and eventually actually it's creates a nice environment to kind of combine and do work together. So that's what I would say, really, work together with the people in your accommodation, see how you can maybe create your own crits or create your own projects outside of university.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think we're gonna finish the session here. Just want to say a big, huge thank you to Mamiya, Harry, and Nan, of course, for joining us today. If you have any more questions, I'm gonna paste our general CCI email on the chat, so please feel free to reach out with any other queries or doubts that you have after the event. And we are also running a lot more other open day sessions on our postgraduate courses, the Masters of Research. We also have the Diploma in Creative Computing happening this afternoon, so you can check on our Eventbrite and sign up to any of those if you want to hear more about it. But in the meantime, we're just gonna do the closure, and thanks everyone for joining us. We hope we can meet you in real life soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.